Good evening, everyone. First of all, I'd like to thank you all for being here. Virtually, of course. Enfield High has become a second home to me, partially because I've spent so much of my life at the school, but mainly because of the amazing relationships that I've formed here with my teachers, staff members, and most importantly, classmates. We are the class of 2020, the first class to spend our entire high school career at the combined Enfield High School. I've always felt that our class was special, and no, not just because we have the coolest graduation year. From our undefeated freshman football team to winning the pep rally as juniors, I was always proud to be a part of our incredible class. I've made memories that I'll never forget, learned many lessons, both academic and about life in general, and formed friendships that I hope last a lifetime. Now I should probably address the elephant in the room, that being that you're in your room right now. Just like all of you, I've always dreamed about walking across the stage on our football field to receive my diploma. I'm still hopeful that this can happen at some point in the relatively near future, but given the circumstances, I'm thankful to our school's administration for doing everything in its power to make this graduation as real as possible. Of course, a virtual graduation could never come close to replacing the traditional graduation of our dreams, but we should at least try to remain optimistic. We'll probably be the one and only class to ever have a virtual graduation, and while yes, it is frustrating that it had to be our class, it definitely does reinforce the idea that our class is one of a kind. Yeah, COVID-19 may have stopped us from seeing our friends and family, and yeah, it may have stopped us from going to school or other public places, but this virus can't take away any of our past accomplishments. Each and every one of us has spent the past 13 years doing countless hours of homework, studying for tests, and balancing all that with our personal lives so that one day we could get to this point. While we may not get the same ceremony, we've put in an incredible amount of work, overcame the most difficult battle of senioritis in history, and despite this pandemic, we're still here watching our virtual graduation today. To get to this point, we've all taken our own individual paths. Some of us focused on STEM classes, while others focused on the humanities. Some loved athletics, and others loved the arts. World language, tech ed, facts, and business, it was up to us to choose which direction we took. We all had some unique combination of classes and extracurricular activities that we personally tailored to our interests. And right now, I challenge you to take a moment to think about those interests. They could be academic, sure, but don't limit yourself to academics. Think of anything and everything that you enjoy doing, something you do when you have no obligations, no one telling you what to do. Maybe you enjoy spending a sunny day at Enfield High's field, playing soccer with your friend. Maybe you want to spend a free afternoon learning to play Blinding Lights by the Weekend on your piano. Maybe you just want to chill out on a late night and watch some episodes of Tiger King. Whatever it may be, think of anything that you do just for the fun of it. I'll be the first to admit that the first time I really thought about this, I was concerned. As I was doing a mental rewind of my life, trying to figure out what types of things I did because I wanted to, I realized that much of what I've done, I did because others wanted it. The biggest culprit in my case was college. It played a significant role in my decision to take so many AP classes, join so many clubs, and was even the reason I joined track my freshman year. While I ended up loving track, cross country, and many of my classes, including physics and calculus classes this year, shout out to you guys, I also had a fair share of classes I wish I didn't take and clubs I never should have joined. I know that for many people, this external pressure comes from other places, such as your parents or your friends. Of course, they only mean the best for you, but sometimes their idea of best and your idea of best aren't even close to the same thing. Instead of always feeling obligated to say yes whenever someone asks you to do something, learning to say no and to stand up for what you do or don't want to do will make you happier in the long run. Obviously, take this with a grain of salt. If your professor tells you to write a paper or your parents tell you to take out the trash, just do it. But for other, more reasonable scenarios, your opinion matters. Life is stressful as is, so if you don't want to join the club your friend has been telling you about, or major in that subject your parents want you to, that's okay. Your time is valuable. Don't waste it doing something you don't enjoy. Instead, you should spend your time on what matters to you. I'm sure you're all familiar with Mark Anthony's quote, "If you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life." Think back to your interests from before, what you do because you want to. Take salary out of the picture, unless of course you're Ebenezer Scrooge and making money is your passion. Otherwise, take your passion and think about how you can use that to improve the lives of others. If you love working with children, maybe you can teach at an elementary school. If you love movies, maybe you can direct films that bring others entertainment. If you love food, maybe you can become a food critic to help people always choose the best meals. Get creative. Through your passions, you have the potential to make significant impacts on others' lives. Helping others has always been, and will always be, an important aspect of life, but it is especially crucial during this pandemic. I'd like to give a quick thank you to all essential employees who continuously risk their health to help our communities run as smoothly as possible. From nurses and doctors to grocery store employees, these are the types of people that selflessly use their skills to benefit others. Now, I told you earlier to ignore salary because while many people think that being successful means making lots of money, I disagree. I personally believe that successful people are those who are happy. Yeah, you can make the argument that you can buy things with money that bring happiness, and I don't disagree with that. If you buy a trampoline for a child, they certainly will be happier. But happiness comes from so many different places, like the rewarding feeling of helping those in need, accomplishing a long-term goal, or just spending time with friends and family. If you take anything out of the speech, I hope it's this. Do what you love to do, and use that passion to improve the lives of those around you. If you do this, then you'll lead a much happier life, and in my eyes, that's the most success you could ever achieve. To conclude, I'd like to give a special thank you to some of my teachers, Mrs. Kane, Mr. Onifrey, Mr. Sullivan, Mr. Rapucci and Mr. Obzu, Mr. Clark, Coach Barnes, and Coach Bartholomew. Thank you to Ryan for always being a pain in my butt, but I couldn't ask for a better twin brother. And finally, thank you to my parents. Mom and Dad, you're the biggest reason why I'm here giving this speech today, and I'm so thankful for all that you've done and continue to do for me. To all the students watching now, I encourage you to take a moment and thank the people in your life that have guided you and helped make your graduation possible. Class of 2020, this is it. Go out and do what you love. Congratulations and good luck in all of your future endeavors. Thank you.